So, the events around you are from 2015, where I had a bipolar manic episode and was sectioned. But before I went into hospital, I learnt in hospital that I was bipolar. But I'm bipolar 2, which is different from what you might understand of a typical bipolar, like a tricyclical bipolar, I think they're called. That's kind of up and down over the weeks. Bipolar 2 is characterized by, it can have some very big, strong, suicidal downs, but they can be spread over months or years, and just occasionally you do get the one mania, and this is my only mania. Seems a bit unfair, if you ask me, but so this is an old show. It used to have lights. Well, it's got lights here. It used to have lights and props and an extra musician. But for this, we've kind of dusted it down, and I'm here with Dave Dhonau, and we're gonna kind of give it to you raw. So yeah, we have to go back to. I have to turn my fucking piano on first. Jesus. Why was it? Maybe I just turned it off. Good start. Okay, we have to go back. To 2009. April. Sitting in my dad's car, and I'm going so very far. It will be my hearse, and where is reverse? Where is reverse? I'm going, you can't stop me. I'm going to Crawley, and I'm shopping in Sainsbury's, and I'm buying a knife and some whiskey, and I realise my shopping looks crazy. So, I know what I'll do. I'll buy a copy of Look Who's Talking 2. I'm going, you can't stop me. I'm going to Crawley. And I am so sorry. Sorry to infinity, and all I need now is for you to forgive me. I don't know how, and there's no way back now. I'm going, you can't stop me. I'm going to the faces of my family, and I am so sorry. Just hold my hand and I'll make it back if I can. I wasn't able to make this. Tell me now, how do you shake this? Maybe I'm not all alone. How'd you find your way back home from Crawley? Thanks. So I was very depressed. I'm gonna step aside from the mic a bit there. I was very depressed, and I was staying at my parents' place in East Grinstead, which is I'm just working out the mic here. So yeah, I was at my parents' place in East Grinstead, which is kind of between London and Brighton. And one morning I got up and decided to kill myself. And I got in my dad's car, and I thought, if I'm going to do it, why not go extra bleak and head to Crawley? And so I was in a lay-by, and I was trying to cut my wrists, and I couldn't do it because it really hurts. So I'm not one of those people, obviously, and I had a handful of sleeping tablets, which I knew really wouldn't do the job, and I had some whiskey, so I just downed both, and and I woke up in hospital to the faces of my family, my brother, my mum and my dad. So in many ways we start with the most difficult song, partly because of the subject matter, but also it's quite high. A lot's changed over the years. I've got older and my voice has changed, and the brain injury, that's a whole other story, but there's a brain injury, and that's made my voice lower. So you might have caught me struggling on some of the high notes there. And it's weird for me, because it's like I'm sharing this most painful moment of my life whilst having a prostate exam. That's, anyway. It's going to be awkward gags like that running through this. Months later, I'd gone back to Leicester, and I was recovering in Leicester, and quite on a whim, I got a piano, this beautiful old Hemingway that's like 150 years old, and with help from a friend who showed me chords, and more of him later, I thought, I want to write some songs. And Crawley was the first song I ever wrote. And I just remember sitting at the piano and crying. But it was a hell of a release, It felt good. And I thought, I want to do more of this. I hit the right chord when I do that. And I thought, I want to do more of this. Well, it's 10 a.m. and this day has just begun. And I'm sitting in the kitchen playing Scrabble with my mum. And it's not proper Scrabble, it's beginner's Scrabble. got pictures in like an Indian in profile, or a bird on a branch, or a cat with a smile. But we're not playing competitively because I can barely count anymore. And it's all I can do just to get the pieces on the board. And my mum spells I-Z-Y-E-S. And I spell dim, D-I. And I've got dim eyes, I've got demise. Demise. And I'm looking at the board. I can read the signs. And these are the things that I think as I sit in this chair. Just think about the words on the board and my 1,000-yard stare. It's my go again, and I spell spoon, S-P-O-O-N, and the spoons are in the drawer where they belong, not with the knives though, the knives are all gone, and they disappeared quite suddenly one night. And I know it's a cliche, but I couldn't even get that right. My mum spells Lake, L-A-K-E. And there's one down the road which is calling to me. But I won't be able to do it because my parents never leave me alone. And I'd have to find some pills and the water would be so cold. And these are the things that I think as I play Scrabble with my mum and wait for the weakest link. Phone rings and it's T-Mobile and he says, "Can you talk? Is this a good time? I could call back later. Won't it be best?" And I say, "No time soon, because I'm clinically depressed." And my mum's laughing and clutching her sides. And before too long, so am I. And as she fans her face, she hits the board, and the pieces hit the floor. And for a moment, we're miles away. And this is the highlight to my day. If you do it, can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, the voice is loud enough, okay. If you do ever get cold called, someone trying to sell you something, I can't recommend the clinical depression line highly enough. The guy couldn't get off the phone sooner. But it was nice, it was this nice little moment of release. Because early on in the depression, I was sort of fizzing with this madness, this, you know, the words on the board were suggesting things to me and they all meant something. And, you know, that is heavy depression. It's kind of like a heightened negative subjectivity. So me and my mum played a lot of intense games of Scrabble and Buckaroo and Twister. No, we didn't play those. Yeah, so people might think those few songs are a little bit sophisticated. This next song is very sophisticated. It appears quite suddenly I've lost my mind, and I'm looking for a fun way that I can unwind. My dreams are a joke, my life is pathetic. I'm on so many drugs, my cock feels prosthetic. Really did. My perception of reality has all gone to pot. I don't know if my cat is Satan or not. The world's drenched in horror and hatred and fear. I'm scared that my breaking point is fatefully near. I wanna go on a killing spree. I can't bear what I've done. Are voices telling me that it might be fun. So who am I to disagree? So I'll get my gun and set my soul free. Wanna go on a killing spree. Wanna kill all my family and wanna kill everyone who's near to me. Wanna kill 'em on a killing. So let's take this fear, self-loathing and panic, and create something bloody, explosive and manic. From the roof of the library, I'll create my bloodbath, toting my shotgun, quoting Sylvia Plath. People run screaming and asking me why, and I'll reply drunkenly, we all gotta die. Then I'll carry on boozing and taking my aim. Then the snipers will snipe and blow out my brain. I wanna go on a killing spree. I can't bear what what I've done, are voices telling me that it might be fun. So who am I to disagree? So I'll get my gun and set my soul free. Wanna go on a killing spree. Wanna kill all my family and wanna kill everyone who's near to me. Wanna kill 'em on a killing spree. I love watching that song divide an audience. It's great. Yeah, my mum's not keen. I'm not sure why. So early on in the Depression, as I said, it was very intense. It's kind of, as I said, fizzing with all these thoughts, and there was a lot of kind of Old Testament anger going on, which I don't know where that came from because I'm not particularly religious. But I was so divided. Because I was looking at my parents' cat, Lenny, and, you know, half of me was going, is that cat Satan? And the other half of me was going, no, it's a fucking cat, you nutter. And, yeah, I'll be honest with you, that song is probably the only song that's not 100% true. I'm not a murderer, you know. What was happening though was your mind just turns against you, and so I was thinking, well, I've tried to kill myself. What else am I capable of? But I'm not capable of that. My parents are here, they're alive. My brother's doing very well. Lenny the cat is dead though, yes. Of natural causes, I might add. So, on with the miserable songs, I'm afraid. After that intense time, I don't want to say I relaxed, but there was a change. And it was just like a sigh. And there was just a hopelessness. The evening's grey, but it's hot. The boy I was and the man I'm not. Stealing kisses in her parents' front room. Drinking in the park under a full moon. Was a time when passion knew not of regret. Sitting on the patio, watching a moth around the porch light glow, and it seems so frantic and yet so calm. Drawn to a light that can only do it harm. Despair is a word, it's hard to know. It's carrying on even after you've let So that song is about despair. I think, I don't know if you felt it. Hopefully not. Some in the audience have. But for me, despair is giving up and having to go on. Now, I often think of this album, this show, it's an album of two halves. And the first half is about being depressed, and the second half is about recovering from depression. So, we're at the end of the first half. You've made it to the second half, so, well done. We just got one more depressing song to go. But it's got a good ending. So yeah, as I said, I was in East Grinstead with my parents, which is a lovely part of the world, West Sussex. And especially back then, there was little light pollution. And in a certain spot in the garden, you could really see the stars at night. And I think one thing depression does do is it takes away your sense of beauty. And I remember this one night, I was under them and I was just smoking and smoking and smoking and thinking the usual depressed thoughts like, I can't go on, etc. But I also thought about the stars. But my God, aren't they beautiful? Tonight, the stars take my breath, 'cause there's sunshine forever and death, and I can't see beyond this night, so I smoke and hold myself tight. I smoke and hold myself tight. I dreamt a demon walked in glint, snake jaw, severed hand, above lamp posts. He swiped at all sides. He was eating the suicides. Oh, sweet brother, he sang to me. Only I can set you free. When I woke, I prayed for sleep, prayed to the demon, a soul to keep, prayed to the demon, my soul to keep. Tonight the stars take my breath, and I'm filled with this goddamn regret, 'cause they're everything that I hold true, and they're the darkness I was running to. Yeah, the darkness I was running to. dark remain, but I'm not sunshine, I'm Sunday rain, a black old star that eats the sky, but for the first time, and I'm not sure why, I know I don't want to die. No, I don't want to die. Dave Dhonau on cello. So I think when depression is heavy, you're kind of helpless. There's nothing you can do. You've just got to live through it. But there comes a point, I feel, where you have to kind of take ownership of it and claim it, maybe. And that's doing various coping mechanisms. One of mine is I started jogging. I do jog a lot. I really do jog a lot, okay? It might not be fast, and it might not look good, but it really isn't fast, actually. I was once overtaken by a very tall man walking swiftly. Anyway, so yeah, there's exercise, and there's things like forcing yourself out to socialise maybe, and seeing friends and other people, which this next song is about really. And there's also taking a day at a time. I'm not thinking about the black cloud that's everywhere I go. I'm not a rain god, Mr. Cloud, leave me alone. I'm not thinking about medication or how I'm supposed to live, or the line between the drugs and my mind, and where the line is. I'm not looking at my reflection. I don't recognize him, the haunted guy with the hollow eyes and just the one chin. The weight really did drop off. I really recommend clinical depression if you want to lose some pounds. Anyway, it worked for me. No longer think it's the end of the line, but I can't see past a day at a time. I'm not thinking about black thoughts of which I can't speak. Pushed to the edge, we could all be monsters that I truly believe. I'm not thinking about the nightmares that my folks will have. I had the strength to share my nightmare, so here's to Mum and Dad. I'm just thinking about a black dog running through the trees. Thanks. So I think it's quite, I kind of stepped out of myself and sort of became aware of other people. Mainly, of course, let's mention my mum and my dad, who are here, and I think they've supported me so much. They deserve a round of applause. If you've seen this show as well, you'll know how much they've been through for me. They've been through hell for me. And what does this tell us about the human condition? What does it tell us?
They have people we love the most.
No, don't have kids. Yeah, I'm sorry, you can't. You got right in a punchline there. It's fine. No, I'm sorry, Vanessa. You were really on board, weren't you? Yes, I'm sorry. I was building up.
No,
It's fine, Vanessa. It's fine. You butt in any time you want to. Yeah. What does this? Maybe I'll try it. What does this tell us about the human condition? We hurt. No, don't give me a new one. We hurt. Anyone else got a good suggestion? Anyway. Right. Yes. Anyway, the punchline was, don't have kids. And I haven't got any kids, but that's changed a little bit. Now we're in the second half and we're kind of relaxing a bit. I just want to give you an idea of how my life is now. And it's brilliant. I'm really good. I'm happier than I've been in a long, long time. So after the last lockdown, I decided to go on the datey internety thing, and I met this wonderful, beautiful, we'll use the word eccentric, Italian lady, and we moved in quite soon. So I'd been a bachelor before that, so I moved in with her 6 cats, her very highly strung border collie, and her 13-year-old daughter. Yes, so that was a bit of a reaction, a baptism of fire. But the one of the big things that I've stopped drinking so much, and partly that's because Sylvia's. So I don't understand. She's Mediterranean. They think about drinking differently. Like they can have a glass of wine with lunch and then not have any more. I don't fucking get that. Jesus. And, and in the old days, you could do a hangover if you lived on your own, you could do a hangover properly. Go downstairs in your pants, stick Avatar on or Terminator 2, have a couple of tinnies to take the edge off. You can't do that when there's a child in the house. That girl has ruined hangovers for me. I'm kind of, I've become more sensible. And when we first met, she had a little bit of issues, and maybe I've helped with that a little bit. And she's doing really well. She's very nice at the moment, which unsettles me slightly, but there we go. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I have to say, oh God, this is a long section, but when I met Sylvia, I have to say, I had so many red flags going. I was brain injured, bipolar, I was drinking too much. I was struggling with my sleep and taking sleeping tablets far too often, but she saw all that and she didn't give a shit. It was wonderful. She kind of met me with complete acceptance. So and she's going to marry me. So yes, there we go. That's that. So back to the song. After that little My Life Now. So that song also mentions an old friend who cares about me, which is Sally, who's this lovely kind of vegan hippie who's always been there for me. And we were walking our dog through the woods, It was a black dog, which is a lovely bit of lyrical serendipity, you know, Winston Churchill. Yeah, it really was black. I was like, yes. And she told me she was pregnant. And she ended up having twins. And I saw her life was full of happiness and joy. And I felt good for her, and I felt happy. And I knew it wouldn't last, because that's not how depression is, but I saw that moment and I claimed it and I owned it. So, yeah, the next song is about, where was I? Yes, the next song is about the person who taught me the piano. And I need to explain a little bit of lyrical stuff here. We had a friend who's depressed, and she asked me to keep an eye on him because she didn't want anything happening on her watch. And I realised when she said that, she felt responsible in some way for Crawley. So I wrote this song for her. So strange, but I've been thinking of a certain turn of phrase. It's the kind of thing you hear when you're getting your change, and it's two little words I'd like to reclaim, 'cause your heart is so sweet, you protest but it's true, and it feels so much a mistake to be you. And when you say all I can say is it wasn't your fault, sweet heart. Well, it came like a wave, just so sick of swimming against the tide, but now I'm on the shore and the salt in my eyes, but through the blur I can see sunny skies, and I never thought the sky could be this blue, and it's a new start, and all I can say is I'm here with you. Sweet heart, sweet, sweet heart. Thanks. Sorry, I got a bit nervous in that song. I think performing it with Silver in the audience, because that is, of course, a love song, and I didn't realise it until I played it to her, and as I said, it was a really intense time. She showed me the piano, and we were close, maybe too close, and she'd listen to the songs and give me really good critiques, And I remember if a song moved her, I remember her face. Maybe she'd be a little flushed, and her pupils would be all warm and large. And she'd say something like, "Crikey, that's good." But it didn't end well, so let's move on. But actually, I don't want to move on quite, because I've had some great moments in my life of creation, especially with other people, and that was, the songs just kind of vomited out of me, and it was great. It really helped, and it helps me with my recovery. And if you can take something so meaningless and give it a meaning, maybe some beauty, that's what art's about, really, isn't it? Or some of it. You know, not kids' books so much, but yeah. The next song is also a love song. A love song to my piano. It does have some audience participation. Some people have just rolled their eyes so hard. Okay, all you have to do... Oh, I forgot. Dave over there is immune. He said, there we go, Dave Pepperworth in the end. Dave's got special privileges. Okay. All you have to do is do. Okay. I'll just show you first. Okay, it goes like this. Too much about the tune, just do. Or follow my mum. I'm sure she'll be giving it a good going. My piano is a Hemingway, but I decided to give him a first name. It's pretty obvious you might have guessed. My piano's called Bob. No, he's not. He's called Ernest. No, the irony's not lost on me. So I'll sing you a song earnestly. Here we go, first time round. Not bad, well done. Lights were dim, I was singing to Morrissey. Sorry, so now my pedal. There we go. Let's go again. Lights were dim, I was singing to Morrissey. Must have looked quite grim, cause she said to me, you made a ghost of yourself. You alone and no one else. I remember the first song I ever wrote, Crawling. It was loosely based on a sad note. When I ghost go? I exercised him on my piano, and it felt so good to let it out. That ghost became a cloud and drifted away, and Ernest was proud of me that day. Okay, second time. Here we go. Do 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 do. I asked myself a lot of questions that were big and clever, which I was clever enough to raise, but not big enough to answer. And there is no answer to why, as far as I can see. We're just another piece of sky, but it's okay by me, 'cause the only answer is the one we find for ourselves, whatever that may be. Okay, last one. Well done, thank you very much. Give yourself a round of applause. And Dave Dhonau on bass. Right, well done, guys. I can see the people in the audience who are crippled by that. And thank you guys for doing it. Okay. We've said thanks to Dave. By the way, this album, with another musician and more musicians, more music, better done. This album is available on streaming sites. So, you know, Spotify, all that. Good Friday, Dave Parkin. So, a year after Crawley, almost to the year, I went on holiday. We've come to the last song, by the way, we're at the end. I went on holiday and I went to Thailand by myself. Now, I know that won't seem like a big thing, but it really was to me at the time. And just going to sort this pedal out. There we go. Yeah, I had a lovely time. I learned how to scuba dive, which, you know, is amazing. You can sit at the bottom of the ocean and watch the fish circle above you like birds. And there was one moment I went for a didn't gauge that right, did I? You got to laugh in Bethlehem. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah, so as I was saying, every night has a dawn. This song is called Up. Well, I wash my face and leave the snail in the sink, 'cause I'm on holiday and who cares what the neighbours might think. I pack my bag and leave my hut, 'cause I'm heading up. It's 12 noon and it's hot, and I'm thinking something about Englishmen and mad dogs. I check my water, I hope I've got enough, 'cause I'm heading up. As I weave through the trees, I think nothing. Yeah, that's right, I said as I weave through the trees, I think nothing. And that's been the great luxury of this trip, is thinking nothing apart from about beach dog politics. I'm sweating now as I step over coconuts, 'cause I'm heading up. And there's no view at the top, but I don't care. So I swat a mosquito and pull up a rock for a chair. Looking around, I think, at least the weather's nice. And I reach in my bag and pull out my knife. But try as I might, I can't carve this in stone. So on the branches of a tree, I leave a note. Maybe it's somewhere still up there, amongst the mosquitoes and the sticks. And it goes something like this. My name's Dave, and on Good Friday 2009, I tried to take my own life.